If you skip this video, you might miss the one truth that explains why your mind feels tired, why you can't focus, and why life feels fast, but empty. Watch this till the end, not because I'm selling you something, but because you might finally realize you're not burned out. You're rushing, and that rush is quietly destroying your mind. Think about this. You wake up and check your phone, notifications, messages, short videos. Your mind is already running, even though the day hasn't started. You work, but you're thinking about the next task. You eat, but you don't taste the food. You talk to people, but you're not really there. And at night you say, I don't know where the day went. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're not unmotivated. You are living in constant rush. In ancient Japan, this was considered dangerous. Not productive, not ambitious, dangerous. They believed that when a person moves too fast for too long, the mind loses depth, the heart loses calm, and life becomes shallow. Their saying was simple. When you rush ahead, your soul is left behind. Today we call rushing hustle. They called it poison for the mind. And this story is not just about philosophy. It's about a man whose mind broke because of speed, and how an ancient truth slowly put him back together. What? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep bringing you great content. Chapter 1. The man who couldn't slow down. His name was Ren. He lived in an old Japanese town where mornings were quiet, and even the wind felt unhurried. Ren was different. He spoke fast. He trained fast. He lived fast. People admired him. This boy will go far, they said, and he did, always moving forward, never stopping to see what he was leaving behind. Ren believed slowing down was weakness. If you paused, you fell behind. If you thought too long, you lost. So everything he did was rushed. His training, his meals, even his thoughts, the masters noticed. They watched him in silence. One day, during training, Ren kept making mistakes. Not because he lacked skill, but because he was forcing speed. Frustrated, he said, I can be better. I just need to move faster. The master looked at him calmly. A speed is not your problem, he said. Ren frowned. But then what is? The master drew a circle in the dirt and placed a small dot in the center. This is you, he said, and this is your life. Then he dragged the dot around the circle quickly, so fast it blurred. When a man moves like this, the master said, he feels like he's advancing, but in reality, he's nowhere. Ren felt irritated. These words felt slow, useless. That night, however, when Ren sat alone, his mind would not quiet. Thoughts raced. Breathing was shallow. His chest felt tight. For the first time, he wondered, why am I so exhausted when I never stop moving? He didn't know it yet, but his rush was breaking his mind. Then, and this was the beginning of the ancient lesson Japan guarded for centuries. When you lose control of your life, the answer is not to go faster. It is to slow down. The next morning, Ren arrived earlier than usual. Not because he wanted to train more, but because something inside him felt unsettled. The master was already there, sitting quietly, eyes closed, breathing slow and deep. Ren stood in front of him, restless. What should I train today? Ren asked. The master opened his eyes. Nothing, he said. Ren laughed, thinking it was a joke. I mean real training. The master stood up and walked toward the courtyard. He picked up a wooden bowl and filled it with water. I'll carry this, he said, handing it to Ren. Ren looked confused. There's no weight. Exactly, the master replied. Walk. Ren stepped forward. After a few steps, the water began to ripple. The master stopped him. Too fast. Ren slowed his pace. It felt uncomfortable. Unnatural. Every part of his body wanted to move quicker. After a few minutes, his arms began to shake. Not from effort, but from restraint. His thoughts grew loud. This is pointless. I'm wasting time. Others are training while I'm doing this. The master watched silently. After a long moment, Ren finally spoke. My body isn't tired, he said, breathing heavily. But my mind is screaming. The master nodded. That scream, he said, is the sound of your addiction to speed. Ren frowned. Addiction? Yes, the master said calmly. You are addicted to movement, to urgency, to rushing. Ren wanted to argue, but couldn't, because it was true. When he slowed down, his thoughts attacked him. When he stopped rushing, discomfort appeared. The master continued. In ancient Japan, this was known as a sickness of the mind. A man who cannot slow himself is not in control. He is being dragged. Ren looked at the water. It was spilling now. The master pointed. When you rush, you spill your energy. When you slow down, you contain it. Ren tried again. step by step. His legs felt heavy, his chest tightened. His pride resisted every movement. Minutes felt like hours. Finally, the master spoke again. "This is why most people fail," he said. "They mistake calm for weakness, stillness for laziness." Ren's hands were steady now. The water was calm. Something inside him shifted. For the first time, he felt present. Not ahead, not behind. Here. That night, Ren noticed something strange. His thoughts slowed. His breath deepened. Sleep came easier. The rush was still there, but quieter. And for the first time, Ren realized something frightening. Speed had never been his strength. It had been his escape. The third day, Ren noticed something unsettling. The slower he moved, the louder his thoughts became. When he trained fast, his mind felt quiet. When he slowed down, it attacked him. Memories surfaced, regrets, fears he had buried under movement. Ren approached the master that evening. "Why does my mind feel worse when I slow down?" he asked. "Shouldn't calm feel peaceful?" The master nodded. "It should," he said. But peace comes after discomfort, not before it." He led Ren into a small wooden hall. The room was empty except for a single candle. "Sit," the master said. Ren sat. "But do nothing," he added. Minutes passed. Ren shifted. His legs ached. His mind raced. Thoughts flooded in. "I'm wasting time. I should be training. This is useless." The master spoke softly. "This is why people stay addicted to rush," he said. "Stillness exposes what speed hides." Ren clenched his jaw. "So rushing is just distraction?" "Yes," the master replied. "The speed is the easiest way to escape yourself." He pointed to the candle. "When the flame is shaken, it flickers wildly. When the air is still, it stands steady." Ren stared at the flame. His breath slowed. The master continued. "Ancient warriors trained stillness before strength, because a restless mind will sabotage even the strongest body." Ren suddenly understood why slowing down hurt. Rush had been protecting him from feeling, from silence, from himself. The master leaned closer. "Akachi Kuze," he said. "Rise from despair." Ren looked up. "You cannot rise until you are willing to sit with what you've been avoiding." The candle burned quietly now. Ren's thoughts didn't disappear, but they lost their grip. That night, Ren slept deeply. For the first time in years, he woke without urgency, and something inside him whispered, maybe slowing down isn't loss, maybe it's recovery. On the fourth day, the test arrived without warning. Ren woke before dawn, calm and steady. For the first time, his mind felt clear. But clarity is fragile. When training began, the other students moved faster than usual. Their strikes were sharp, their footwork aggressive. Ren felt it instantly. The old hunger returned. "Go faster. Don't fall behind. Prove yourself." His hands tightened around the wooden sword. At first, he resisted. He breathed. He slowed his steps. But the moment one student passed him, something snapped. Ren rushed. His strikes became wild, his breath shallow, his balance unstable. And then it happened. He slipped. The wooden sword flew from his hands and hit the ground. Silence. The master raised his hand. "Stop. Stop." Ren stood frozen, shame burning his chest. "I failed," Ren said quietly. The master picked up the fallen sword and placed it back into Ren's hands. "No," he said. "You returned to your addiction." Ren looked confused. He repeated, "Yes," the master replied. "Not to substances, to urgency." He walked slowly around Ren. "Your mind believes speed equals safety. That if you rush, you won't be judged. If you rush, you won't fall behind. If you rush, you won't feel pain." The master stopped in front of him. "But rushing is what caused you to fall." Ren lowered his head. The master continued. "Akishi Kize is not rising without failure. It is rising after failure, without panic." Ren took a breath. "So what should I do when the urge comes back?" The master smiled faintly. "You will not fight it," he said. "You will interrupt it." He held up one finger. "When urgency appears, pause for one breath. Just one." Ren frowned. "That's it?" "Yes," the master said. "Urgency cannot survive interruption." Training resume. Ren moved again, but slower. Each time the urge surged, he paused for a single breath. At first, it felt unbearable. Then something changed. The urge weakened. By sunset, Ren was exhausted, but steady. That night, the master spoke one final time. "Most people fail not because they fall," he said. "They fail because they rush to escape the feeling of falling." Ren sat silently, understanding at last. Speed had never been his strength. Stillness was, and for the first time, he trusted it. The fifth day was quieter than the others. No pressure, no competition, no urgency. And yet, it was the hardest. Yen woke up feeling empty. No motivation, no excitement, just a dull heaviness in his chest. In the past, this feeling would have terrified him. Emptiness was dangerous. Emptiness made him rush. But today, he remembered the master's words. Urgency cannot survive interruption. Training began, but the master gave no instructions. He simply said, "Practice." Ren stood still. He didn't know what to do, so he did the simplest thing. He breathed. One breath, then another. Slowly, he lifted his wooden sword. His movements were not powerful. They were not impressive, but they were steady. Halfway through training, Ren failed again. His foot slipped. His timing broke. For a moment, the familiar urge appeared. Fix it fast. Make up for it. Do more. Ren felt it clearly, but instead of rushing, he stopped. One breath. Then he returned to the stance. Not perfectly, not dramatically, just honestly. The master watched silently. After training, he finally spoke. "Do you know why most people never change?" he asked. Ren shook his head. "Because they believe progress must feel intense," the master said. "They think transformation must hurt. That discipline must feel heroic." He looked at Ren. He looked at Rien. "But real change feels boring." Ren blinked. "Boring?" he asked. "Yes," the master replied. "Because the ego hates repetition without reward." He continued. "Kushikize does not mean one great comeback. It means returning again and again without drama." Ren felt something shift inside him. All his life, he had tried to win against himself. Now he was simply returning. That evening, the master gave him a final task. For the rest of today, he said, "Do nothing quickly." Ren was shocked. "A nothing?" "Slowly. Walk slowly. Speak slowly." At first, it felt unnatural, almost painful, but then peaceful. Ren noticed things he had never seen before. The sound of wind, the weight of his steps, the calm between thoughts. At night, he realized something important. Addiction was never about desire. It was about escape. Rushing was his way of running from discomfort, and stillness was teaching him how to stay. As he lay down to sleep, Ren understood he didn't need to become stronger. He needed to become consistent. Not perfect, not intense, just present. Tomorrow would be the final lesson. And this time, he wasn't afraid of it. The final morning arrived without ceremony. No bell, no command. Ren woke before sunrise, the world still quiet, untouched by urgency. For the first time in years, his mind did not race ahead of the moment. There was no pressure to fix himself. No need to prove progress. He simply sat, breathing. The master met him outside as the sky began to lighten. "You are leaving today," he said. Ren bowed, but something felt different. He wasn't nervous. He wasn't excited. He was steady. They walked slowly along the stone path one last time. "Tell me," the master said, "what did you defeat?" Ren thought carefully. "My addiction," he offered. The master stopped. "No," he said gently. "You stopped fighting." Ren understood. The master continued, "Addiction survives in urgency, in panic, in the belief that relief must be immediate." He placed a hand on Ren's shoulder. "Chishikaze is not rising after collapse. It is rising without rushing." Ren looked out over the valley below. Life was moving, people working, birds flying, clouds drifting. None of it hurried. "When you rush," the master said, "you abandon yourself. When you return even slowly, you reclaim control." Ren bowed deeply. He left the mountain without promises, without rules, without fear. Only one practice remained. When the urge appears, pause. When discomfort rises, stay. When failure happens, return. Not tomorrow, not perfectly. Now, and slowly. As Ren disappeared down the path, the master turned back toward the dojo. The lesson was complete, because the ancient truth was never about breaking addiction. It was about breaking the rush. When you stop rushing to escape discomfort, you regain control over your mind and your life.